Welcome back inside the Vert Studios. Another episode of Part in Our Promotion. Maybe we call this season 2. I don't know. But it's been like 2 months, I feel like, since we've recorded anything. Last time we were here was just before opening day.
Yeah, I think we were in the single digits or double digits or something until opening day.
How'd it go for you?
In the blink of an eye. It went so fast, it feels like. But it went well.
What? Any major issues?
Chaos as always, right?
Any moments of triumph?
Many moments.
I think every first pitch of the season's a moment of triumph. You know, I think some of the common things that I saw this opening season, just a lot of equipment, technical issues, operators getting to know their equipment. I think we talked a lot in previous episodes about training, stuff like that. Just really, hits home, for me at this time. You can really see how underprepared or how overly prepared some operators are.
Yeah, I think I saw many a times teams just not firing up their equipment. They haven't really had a need for it up until recently, and they turn it on a little bit too late, and then they're like, oh goodness, we have all these issues now that we need to solve. Opening day's in 2 days.
Like what, the display won't fire?
Yeah.
Or just blank?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I called visual. Hey, can you help me? No, but yeah,
You didn't?
I don't know. There were just some particular, like different issues that we had, but we were able to, resolve it. I don't know necessarily specifically how we pinpointed all of them, but you have those issues.
Yeah, you could tell when, you've got a lot of new staff at an organization. The problems are much different than the problems, when you have experienced staff. A lot of the times we're trying to find out, what the problem is, and then you have a communication breakdown. So, I had a lot of issues with that. Just trying to identify what they're actually asking is sometimes a challenge too. So, vernacular, maybe we'll do a podcast on it sometime, but vernacular and, industry jargon's important. We almost need to give some people like a glossary of terms when we start working with them.
Yeah, because you have somebody asking you to help them with one thing, and they're saying a completely different term, and you're like trying to help them with what you think, what that actually is. And they're like, no, I need help with, this actually, So,
yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree. You should write that down so that way we can get working on it.
So what kind of stuff then are you doing now? Like where, pretty much most seasons have started, I think. There might be some short seasons that haven't started yet, but most everyone you're working with is open. So what kind of stuff are you doing now? Like where's the direction going in the season for you?
Yeah, well, we're in the point now of the season where you can kind of see, as far as your control room goes, like who is getting it. We're past that point of a new crew working together and trying to figure out the cadence of working all together. So now we're at the point where we're like, okay, maybe this video board operator needs to be moved to a different position, or they don't necessarily fit in that position. So as far as like the production and the control room side of things go, we're now at a point where we can figure those things out. As far as content and show related elements, we have all the basics now. All of the walls have been built, and now we're filling the house with furniture. So just constantly thinking creatively of how we can grow in-house shows and make things better for the fans who have now been coming for a couple homestands, so that way things don't get stale and stagnant.
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of season you've had, right? So like some teams have really heavy front ends, and so like at this point, a lot of teams, some of those teams that have had heavy front ends are like taking a break and like catching their breath, which is a trap, frankly. Because now's the time where the dust is finally settled, right? You can see, what happened during opening day, what made it, what didn't make it, why didn't it make it, how do we make it get in the show now, how do we, catch some of the stuff that got left behind because of opening day. And so the teams that have had light seasons, maybe they've had the opportunity to kind of be proactive and get on that, which is great. Opening days, tend to at some point, take all your attention, right? So you just stop thinking about anything else.
Yeah, I think I've seen teams fall into traps of they're so focused on that one day. It's like opening day, I need this for opening day, and then opening day comes and goes, and then it's the next day, and they're like, oh wait, I had all this content, I had all this planned for opening day, but they were just kind of tunnel visioned on it, and then so now trying to figure out, okay, we might have needed that for opening day, but what do we need now? So pinpointing those needs.
Yep, and teams fall into that trap, and they'll stay there all season. So, they'll be like, oh, finally can catch my breath. Just had a 12-game homestand, 12 games in 13 days. And then next thing you know, like a week's gone by, and they're in another homestand all of a sudden, and they just lost their break. And that cycle can stick with the team all season. And so then you don't really, your show is what it is, and you didn't build upon it, you didn't grow anything, you just basically treaded water all season.
Yeah, or they, for those front home heavy teams, they're so tired that they're like, this will just do. So I think our job, when we're working with them, consulting on a one-on-one, is like pushing them. Like, I know you're tired, but like, let's not sit down. Let's just like keep on pushing through it, and we'll stretch at the end of the season type thing. Yeah,
because it does go, the season goes quick. As much as it seems like it's a long, marathon, it really is a sprint. If you think about it, we just started this by saying it's been 2 months since we did it, and that's a long time, but it's gone by like that.
Yeah.
And for some teams, they're almost halfway through their season already.
It's crazy.
And for other teams that just started within the last week or 2 weeks, those first couple homestands are going to go quick, and then they just zip on by.
Yeah.
So don't fall into the trap that a lot of people do. And I guess the same goes for your broadcast and things like that. We got on air. We had a live stream, right? Which was box number one. We checked it, but now we gotta grow. We gotta add content, add elements, fix the stuff that went wrong, figure out why it went wrong, and improve.
Yeah, I like to look at things through a season ticket holder perspective. Like, you might have those people who came out on opening day, and they might not come out to a game until, mid or end season, but your season ticket holders are there every single night, so you have to constantly keep them entertained to keep them as season ticket holders for the long run. So they can't get bored. They need to be the ones going out and telling people, like, I'm there every single night, and things are just constantly growing and constantly getting better. So I think just keeping those people in your mind whenever you're planning your shows, and same goes for your broadcasts. Like when you have the family members of the teams like watching every single night, like they're the ones that are watching every single night. Give them something new to watch the next night, so that way they come back.
Yeah, I agree. In addition to having more than enough elements and entertainment, so you can cycle and you can do new stuff all the time, introducing, what I do on a regular basis is when we're in season, I have weekly goals. So my goal this week is to introduce one new element that we've never done before. Try one new element, or one new broadcast graphic, or one new pregame on field. And if you just keep it simple and say one, by the end of the season you have a bunch of new content that frankly was really easy to develop, because you just had to do it one at a time, really.
Yeah, or even like if you don't have the ability to introduce one new thing, like just change up something you're already doing. Like change the finish line of a race, or change the location of a contest, or switch from your first base dugout to your third base dugout. Just give it a little bit more variety, so that way it kind of keeps everyone on their toes.
Yeah. So episode 1, don't fall into the trap. Have you ever fallen into the trap?
I think I catch myself, or in past seasons have caught myself almost falling into the trap. You get so tired, you do want to take that break, but then kind of snap back into it and force myself out of the trap. So I've never actually gone there, but I definitely see how it happens, and how it is very easy to do and easy to fall into it. But got to keep pushing through.
Good for you. Never fallen into the trap.
Never. Have you? Have you ever
Of
fallen into
course.
the trap?
Yeah.
You
yes.
think?
Yes, I have. I have fallen into that trap. Yes, but you gotta learn. So.
Yeah.
But that's all for this episode of Pardon Our Promotion. If you've fallen into the trap or need someone to reach down, drop us a line, send us a comment. If you have an idea for a podcast episode you want us to talk about and address, also post a comment. We love those. But until next time, guys, it's all about your fans. We'll see you later.